Well, creating a new application with Aurelius is fast and easy with auto-mapping attribute, with the schema update feature, so that Aurelius creates the tables and columns for us when we are designing our classes. But what happens if I have an existing application, an existing database, a legacy database, which the structure of it doesn't match the way Aurelius, the usual way Aurelius works with, which, for example, is a single primary key and conventions for the auto-mapping columns. Well, that's why it's my number 6 of my top 10 Aurelius features, because Aurelius fully supports existing database the way they are built. We can take, for example, the Northwind database, which was a famous database for the Microsoft Access and later for the SQL Server. We have tables in a very different, between quotes, way of design it. We have, for example, the order details table, which has a space in its name. That table has a primary key, which is a composite primary key by 2 fields, 2 columns, order ID and product ID. Here is the primary key. We have some column names with different formats, etc. We have the orders here. So we have order details has reference to orders. How do we support those? Well, we can use the many different mapping attributes for it. This is the example of the orders table. We can use the table attributes to define with the name of the table that the class is saved. We can use the column attributes to define the column name, if the column is not new or new, if the size of the varchar field, for example, here is 40, 60. We can use the ID to define the attribute to define the primary key. In this example, it's still a traditional, between quotes, ID with identity, but if you look at the order details table, we see that the ID is composed by 2 columns and it's not auto-generated, so it's a natural ID and foreign key. We have, for example, associations here. We can use the join column attribute to specify the name of the column in the table that is used as a foreign key to the other table. And this is an example of how you can use the attributes to map an existing Delphi class, Aurelius class, to any database you have. It's very simple and it's very flexible. That's very interesting because you can start using Aurelius right now in your existing application. You don't have to adapt it. You don't have to create tables only in the format that it needs, that the ID must be integer or whatever. No, you can use it the way you want to. And the best part is that you don't have to create and add this mapping manually yourself. You can use TMS Data Modeler tool to create that for you. Here is how it works. I will launch the database, the data modeler tool, which is a database tool, but I will not focus on that part of the tool right now. I will just use the import from database. I have this connection already configured here. The data model will connect to the Northwind database, import the structure for me, and list the tables that was in the database importer. Here is my orders table, my order details with a relationship with it, the customers table, and we have all the fields here, everything is here. And to create, there is a feature here in the tools menu, TMS Aurelius. It creates the unit with that classes from this existing database. I can specify an output directory, the unit name. There is a lot of configuration you can use here. As you get more experienced with Aurelius, you understand better many of the features here. Some of the features are just for naming. I'll show in a minute. And here in the mappings, it lists all the tables that we have in the database and how it will be generated in the source code. For example, the customers table will have a class T customers created with those properties here and the associations and the many valued associations. And you can define sequence names and a lot of other things. And some naming feature I was going to show you is the singularize, for example. This helps in the singularization of the name. For example, the orders table will have a respective T order class in the mapping. Same for order details, we have the order detail. And I can change names, for example, in the orders class. The association with customer, we call it customer instead of customer ID, or employee instead of employee ID. I can create a new association here, name it order details. So I can fine tune and configure my mapping here. This is saved, meaning that if you update your database, create new versions of it, which is possible with Data Modeler, you can re-import, not re-import, you can regenerate the classes again, so with the settings that you have saved here. So I can always create a new unit with existing data. If I click OK here, then I have my unit here generated, unit Northwind, with all the classes that I have asked it for to create, and the mapping. So this is a very easy tool for you to use an existing database and create classes mapped to the database with Aurelius with almost a single click, and you can start using Aurelius right now with your existing database. I hope you have enjoyed this feature, and subscribe to our channel to receive more updates about upcoming videos of this my top 10 Aurelius features or upcoming videos of the channel. Thank you.